finally happening. I'm done with Squad Busters, and honestly, my reaction is pretty crazy. So in today's video, I'm going to explain why I'm finally quitting Squad Busters and why they fell off / why the game failed. And also, I'm going to go off with a bang with one final first place finish in a duos game with a random teammate. And you want to stick around to the end because then you'll get to see some leaks about all of my Squad Busters videos. So first, let's start off with why did Squad Busters fail? Now, I could have a whole podcast explaining why, but I'll keep it brief. So it wasn't monetized enough, and it was monetized incorrectly. There was no social clan or group feature, and the metas typically sucked. So the game was simply flawed, and they couldn't get either version right. And I'm not hating on Supercell, they're a really great company. It's that sometimes we're all going to make mistakes, and they did. But I believe that they're going to learn and they're going to do something great in the future and maybe take inspiration from Squad Busters to create a similar game that is much better. Anyway, what's going to happen to Squad Busters on this channel? Is the content going to be deleted? And the answer to that is I am going to keep all of the content because it means a lot to me. I put a lot of time and effort into making the Squad Busters videos. It's part of the channel's identity, and it also holds some records. My most viewed YouTube short at 3,000 views belongs to Squad Busters. Some of my worst performing videos also belong to Squad Busters. So it is just such a crucial feature of this channel, and I have got to keep it. One question people have asked me is, are you going to play Clash Royale? And the answer to that is no, not right now, probably not for a while. I'm not planning to replace Squad Busters with another game because I'm quite content with Brawl Stars and Clash of Clans. They provide plenty of content for me, and I genuinely do enjoy playing both. So rest in peace, Squad Busters. You were a great part of this channel, and maybe in the future you'll come back. So now let's talk about some of the video information about all of my Squad Busters videos, because I promise there's stuff that I never told you guys or displayed in the videos, so now I'm gonna leak it all. So let's start off with the first one. So this was my first Squad Busters video, and it's very funny to look back and you can see the spells were still a thing, heroes weren't a thing, loot machines was still a modifier. This video honestly was pretty lackluster effort-wise. I did not script it, the thumbnail was pretty bad, but it was my first video, and you can see there is no like fusion. You had to get 3 in order to get a mega, so that was pretty cool. Admittedly, I just ended up ranting about strategies, and it wasn't a great video, but it was the first Squad Busters video, so I was pretty satisfied with how it performed, given the fact that at the time, I think my channel had less than 50 subscribers. Then the next video was about the Goblin and how I thought he was the best starting character in Squad Busters, and subjectively he might be. So again, this was still before Squad Busters 2.0, so it was pretty cool to see, and it was also during the second Transformers event, I believe. So it wasn't too bad of a video, and honestly I thought it underperformed. I thought that this video was really going to do well and get maybe hundreds of views. It didn't, but it was okay because it definitely did have a lot more effort put into it, and I was still pretty satisfied. So then I actually switched and I started trying shorts, and Squad Busters was the very first short to ever be made. And this one was just about how going to the transition from 1.0 to 2.0, I ended up saving some star tokens. So it didn't perform too well, but that's okay. It was my first one. For the next Squad Busters video, it actually came out in June. It was about how B and Ruffs were just dominating the meta and how they needed to get nerfed. And B actually did end up getting nerfed, so that was pretty fun. And this one broke 150 and performed pretty consistently after its release, which was very nice to see. Then we had the next long form, which was about how I had maxed out the Barbarian and the Witch and was testing them. And to be honest, this video was during the Spike event, but it was also when I was super busy, so I actually didn't get Spike during this. But it is worth noting that honestly, this was one of the videos where I slacked off the most. All I did was really just slap titles on it because I think I had been really behind my schedule, and it was just lazy, and to be fair, it did not perform well, and it totally deserved to, but still a good learning experience and no regrets. I think it's actually the longest video on my channel. So for the next video, it was the Clash of Crabs video, and this one unfortunately did not perform as well as I wanted it to, but it was one of the videos that I actually did script. I did a lot of thumbnail work for it, and honestly, I really did believe Clash of Crabs could save Squad Busters, and unfortunately it didn't. In fact, it never came back. after this as any sort of temporary game mode, but honestly it was a really fun game mode while it lasted, and it was great for farming, and I do recommend checking it out because it was one of my more fun videos to make for Squad Busters. Then for the next video, and at this point I was nearing the end of making Squad Buster long forms, it was about the 1v1 game mode and how you could just easily farm wins in this game mode. And to be fair, I thought it was a pretty great video. Again, this one did not do as well as I liked it to, but it was still pretty fun to make and also really fun to explain. I think it is a really great example of the progression from when I first started Squad Busters videos. I rarely scripted it, I did not work on the thumbnail too much, but this just is a good example of the progression I made. And finally, the last long form video was simply about how Squad Busters was going to work on the channel, because at this point the announcement to end the game had already been released, and I just wanted to update you guys on what I was going to do with it. So this is where I first had the idea for winning with random squaddies, and I thought it was going to go for a very long time, but ultimately it just was not crazy successful, and it was a lot of work for me to go record every day or edit. So ultimately winning with random squaddies only ended up going for 8 episodes, but now let's take a look at some of the shorts. Obviously, the most common series I did was winning with random squaddies that ran for 7 episodes, and it's super cool to actually see them like this. But yeah, these ended up taking quite a bit to do. I ended up, for the first 6, I just did a very long recording session. I played around 30 minutes for the first time in like 3 weeks, so that covered me for quite a bit, and then I just recorded the last 2 individually. Making these was not that hard. It was just filler black screens to increase the drama whenever the beat dropped, or fading the footage on screen to align with like when the audio faded out, and adding subtitles to help narrate. I actually made custom text for this that would move across the vertical screen because the other one did not fit. And then there were a few more guides for free-to-play players, such as that they could now get the gem pass, what happens when you claim stuff on a maxed out account. But these were simply the shorts where I ended up maxing out characters like the Wizard, Ice Wizard, Hog Rider. It was pretty cool. And unfortunately, I don't have files of the other ones. Maybe they got corrupted, or I just have a lot of Squad Busters videos. So with that being said, I really enjoyed making Squad Busters videos, and hopefully I get to continue doing that sort of thing with Brawl Stars and Clash of Clans. So thank you for watching this video, and you can watch my best Squad Busters video here, and I'd greatly appreciate a subscribe, like, or comment. It really helps me out to create the best possible content I can, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Rest in peace, Squad Busters.